constraints is a tool designed to create an added layer of flexibility to accommodate for several restrictive contracts with payers. It allows the user to limit a payer from being billed certain codes. Providers sometimes have contracts with payers who will only accept specific codes. This tool is often associated with situations where codes are split and then billed to multiple payers. For instance, you may have a contract where one payer accepts the professional component and another accepts the technical component. Code constraints are associated with an insurer service center. Being associated with a service center as opposed to a network allows for finer granularity of control. To set up code constraints for an insurer service center, click on the Code Constraints button. The Code Constraints window opens. Now select the constraint mode in order to enable the rest of the configuration. The options are Include Codes or Exclude Codes. Include Codes means that only the codes selected in the configuration will be billed to the payer. On the other hand, the Exclude Codes option means that the codes selected in the tool will never be billed to the payer. Forewarning, if a patient has only one primary payer with code constraints, then the codes that aren't accepted will never be billed. Because of this, the code constraints usually come in pairs. This means that if you create a code constraint configuration for one payer to include codes, there is usually a mirror of the configuration for another payer where the mode is Exclude Codes. Then both payers are attached to the patient as dual primary payers that are active. Optionally, select the global mode options to include common groups of codes. The options are All Professional Codes, All Technical Codes, and All Global Codes. All Professional Codes option would include or exclude all professional codes. These are codes that don't have a technical component. All Technical Codes is an option. You would include or exclude all technical codes. These are codes that don't have a professional component. And Global Codes is the option you would use to include or exclude all codes that have both a technical and professional component. In this example, we're going to include all technical codes. Remember, you can choose to select the options here. Manually select one or more codes to be included or excluded based on your mode. In this example, we're going to select E&M codes. To do so, select Add Codes. The Choose a Code screen appears. In the Choose a Code screen, we're going to go to the CPT Category 1 codes and select the Evaluation and Management section. Next, we're going to move over to the Office and Other Outpatient Services fields and select the New Patient and grab all the new patient services by selecting the first one with the left click of the mouse, dragging the mouse down to the final one, and selecting the code. If you'd like to add a modifier to these codes, you're going to select the codes and choose Set Modifier. In the Set Modifier, you're going to select the modifier that you want to use. That'll add the modifier to the codes. If a modifier was added accidentally, you can remove it without removing the codes by clicking on the Set Modifier button again and using the Clear Modifier button. If you accidentally added a code or codes, then you can remove them from the list with the Remove button. Simply select that code and choose Remove Codes. And the code disappears from the list. You may set up code constraints for a payer and then decide it was not the right approach. To completely wipe out the code constraints configuration for a particular payer, simply select Reset All. Reset All will clear all of the code constraints from the service center that you've chosen. And the code constraints configuration resets to its original condition. And this concludes the video training on code constraints in the service centers. Thank you for viewing this training video. Please remember that Iridium Suite's online help manual is a valuable resource for your questions about the software.